You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hi. I'm Alfie. That's Jenna. This is Minute To Skim It. Oh man. It's gonna be one of those days.
I am, of course, doing all the liking and sharing right now, and I hope you guys do it as well. Of the liking and...
Like and share, comment, subscribe, do all those things. We still on the road to 1,500?
We are still on the road to 1,500. I think we're at 1,400 right now or something like that. Wait. Oh, I'm in the middle of liking it, so I should be able to see it. Hold on. I was liking it on the wrong platform. Oh, no. Bad, Jenna. Bad.
Just like it on every platform.
I do. Oh, my goodness. I don't know why the internet doesn't like me today. I'm sorry. Oh, where are we? We're at 1,430 people. So we need like 70 more people to subscribe.
So close.
And then we will have 15 $100 CGCs giveaway across all of our shows. So that means all you have to do is subscribe and then watch your favorite shows. You could win a $100 CGC book. We're having fun today. Welcome in, everyone. Don't forget to thumbs up, heart, and share. And I typed up the last book so you can show it whenever. Okay, thanks, bye. All right, somebody please tag Ed Weird. Because we got this. We got them. Look.
Yeah, came in.
They finally came in. This is Fago Rock and Rye. There we go. So Edward never stopped talking about Ed Weird. Never stopped talking about it. So we got it. And now we have to wait for him to show up to drink it. And I mean, like, I'm going to drink it today. It's going to get drank today.
It's that or it's going in the fridge and I will forget about it until the end of time.
Just until Edward's like, did you get it? We're like, oh yeah, it's in the fridge. Do you want to go first?
I suppose so.
Okay.
I
can do this.
I'll start with this one.
Okay.
Since this is the one that I read most recently. It is Star Wars High Republic. Adventures, The Nameless Terror. Which, it didn't really click until I got to the end of it, where it felt like just watching an episode of Star Trek or something, and it's like, on next week's episode, what will happen? Oh, it's the Nameless Terror. So, it starts with a flashback. I think it's set 100 years ago. Obviously in Star Wars universe. And, there was a shipwreck. Group of people. There's a ship, and they're like, oh, are you friendly? No, not friendly. Caused the ship to crash on a random planet. And you notice something like an egg fall out of the ship.
Oh, that sounds rude.
And it cracked open, obviously.
That's even ruder.
Yep. And then, the Nameless Terror. You don't see what comes out of the egg, but suddenly, all of the Jedi have a hunger.
Just is it for blood?
I don't know.
Of younglings?
Yeah, they did say, like, oh, there should be more people here. Like, what happened? Did they get eaten? Who knows?
Nummy.
But
Sounds
yeah.
delicious.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious because I really do want to know what happened. Like, I want to know what was in the egg. Oh, and the people that
next time.
Yeah, and the people that caused the shipwreck, the enemy people, they're people that are against Jedi using the Force.
Well, what else are they supposed to do?
Be hungry, I guess.
Just be hungry forever. Okay. All right. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. And this is 1 of 4, so it's. Oh, and also I forgot. At the beginning, it shows like a timeline of all the other Star Wars books.
Okay,
So if
well, that's
you want
nice.
if you want more context, it's like, oh hey, follow here.
Oh, well, that is nice. I do like how Dark Horse does their Star Wars storylines. Instead of just having like an ongoing one that's like on issue like 50 or 60, they're just like, by the way, the story's only like 4 or 5 issues.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool.
You can jump in for a little brief story arc.
Just a little taste. Just a little snack of
Just
Star
a
Wars.
little taste of the Nameless Terror.
Did it feel like you were missing any storyline?
It was hard to follow like the people's names personally, because I mean, of course, it's Star Wars, so they're not like average everyday names.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, the Jedi Bob.
The Jedi Bob.
Yeah, it was kind of like trying to follow along with Game of Thrones names,
Yeah.
because it's just.
Tyrion.
Well, that was
Well, I don't know. Jamie was, I think, the only easy name.
okay. The
but no, there's a huge debate on how to say Arya's name. Have you heard this one?
no.
So when the show first came out, everybody was like, or when the books first came out, they would read it like Arya or Arya or
Yeah.
Are you? No, it's just like, okay, so how do you say it? And then the show
Arya?
came out, and like everybody said it differently.
Yeah, now I'm questioning it.
Like,
don't know.
oh my gosh, Aryo. There was like, because the Hound said it differently. Cersei would say it differently.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch Game of Thrones.
Oh, at least skip the last 3 episodes.
I just won't do.
It's a
season
solid. I don't know, man. Okay, the actual war with the dead people. That was an interesting episode. But like the last 3 episodes,
8. I blocked them out.
I've blocked them out. I don't remember what happens. I'm gonna have to read the books again. Or when the last book comes out, hopefully it'll be the last.
Well, I think they ran out of source material for.
Yeah, they
like,
caught up
once
to it.
Season 5 happened. It's like after that.
Yeah, and they got with George R.R. Martin to be like, okay, so what's the story gonna do?
Oh, but I think a lot of his was like, oh, I think I might do this.
Yeah. So the last like 2 or 3 seasons were just them being like, okay, well, he said he's probably gonna do this in the book, so here you go. So yeah, but I will stand to this day that Dany was always going to turn to the Mad Queen. I always knew it from the beginning. I was like, she's gonna go mad. That's why they're talking about it so much. And everybody was like, how did she go mad? And I was like, she always was. Right?
I mean, the bloodline. So.
The bloodline. And then House of Dragons, so good. Okay, we're here for new books. We're here for new books. I'm so sorry. The dragons are on their way, George R. R. Mountains. Park. We can't sing the song of his people, though. So let's keep that to ourselves. Gosh, my books were so all over the place. I don't know where to start. Just pick one. Okay, okay. This is Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain. This was a book that I read. It was not my cup of tea. So I will say it is a number 1, but there are so many things going on in it. There are like 4 or 5 other storylines that led up to this one. And they tell you in the panels what storyline or what books to go read to understand what's going on. I did not have time to try and hunt down all those books and storylines. Yeah, Backwoods. What's up? Hey. So yeah, Captain Britain. That was a book. I will like that Britannica Rex was in there because it's a giant Captain Britain T-Rex.
Is there just a T-Rex version of every superhero?
There is in the Marvel universe because it's a certain Earth. It's a certain different parallel universe where they're all like animals or dinosaurs.
Huh.
So they've also done the same thing with the Justice League. There's just dinosaur versions of everybody at this point. Like, is there a dinosaur version of me? If I was a dinosaur, what would I be?
I don't know. I don't know enough dinosaurs to even think of. I can only think of like 3 off the top of my head right now.
T-Rex, Velociraptor, Stegosaurus, Bronchiosaurus.
Okay, well, one of those.
Oh, okay. Velocipaster. I would be. Yes, I would be a Velocipaster.
I don't know why that didn't come to my head immediately. All I could think was Theodore Rex. Like all my other dinosaur knowledge left. It's just
As soon as you like know all this stuff, then as soon as you'd asked about it, you're like, oh,
I don't know. I've never heard of dinosaurs.
That happens to me all the time. People are like, hey, what equation do I use to like figure out gravity? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, isn't that what you studied? And I'm like, oh, math? What is math? Who knows? I don't know anything. But so yeah, what happens? That's how the book opens. Is so giant Captain Britain T-Rex goes back to their own timeline, and all these things are falling from the sky. You know, like maybe a giant meteor, and they're all like, "Oh no! I should have never left my people when I last left. Everything was green and happy and peaceful, and now things are falling from the sky. I knew this day would come. People warned me." And then all of the Captain Britain Corps show up to like help stop the meteors coming crash into Earth. But come to find out, one of them's not a meteor. It was a what was it? It was a thing that they had fought before several times. Oh, I forgot to write it. I'm so sorry. But anyways, it's not like a parasite, but they called it something like a parasite, and like one of them like uses some Phoenix Force because they're the daughter of Jean Grey, and they can kind of focus the Phoenix Force a little bit, and they use the Phoenix Force and like shukadusha, a babushki, you're dead, and it goes down into a tar pit, and then all the meteors stop. So I guess that was kind of cool. But I will say this: what is the number one rule when you're dealing with like zombies and parasites and stuff like that?
Don't eat them.
Double tap.
Oh.
Double tap. Always hit it twice. Like, come on. Like,
no, it's fine. One and done. That's my motto.
So yeah, you get to see a whole ton of different Captain Britons, and Betsy is the head of the Captain Britain Corps. That's that book. Okay.
Well, since we're talking about clones and people from different verse and universes and timelines, let's go to Sons of Sinister, Immoral X-Men. Yeah.
Immoral?
Immoral.
Man. Are they immoral or immortal? They need to make up their minds. Pick one. Pick one I word. There's too many I words there.
Yeah, I doubted myself for a second. I was like, did I read it right? Is it Immortal? No, it's Immoral X-Men.
Okay.
So, Sinister's down bad.
Oh, no. Again?
He's kind of upset with this world that he's created for himself.
Jesus.
Because even in his,
what?
Even in his paradise, he's like, man, and the tea here is terrible.
Like he's complaining about the tea as well.
Yeah, and there's and he's basically injected his personality traits into all of these like top mutants, and they have a council.
Sinisters?
Well, of like those clones.
Oh my goodness.
So there's an Xavier, there's a Emma Frost, and
they're all a little bit of Sinister now.
Yeah,
oh my
because he's like trying to make them do what he wants, and then Emma Frost is like, dude, I can, like, you're not gonna one up me.
Like, no, bro, no.
I mean, she can read minds. You can't just be in your private mind palace.
I mean, she's in there too, like, knock, 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 Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, and at some point he decides to send a bunch of different Cyclops clones.
Oh my gosh, Mr. would love this story then.
Yeah.
It's her favorite.
Yeah, but then she's like, dude, I've never met a Scot that I can't defeat. Like, I'm gonna have control of these guys in a second.
Oh my goodness.
It's not a big deal. And this wraps up the first part of the of this series. So there's like year 10, year 100, and then year 1000.
Oh yeah.
And this is end of year 10.
Okay.
So now the next bit will be year 100.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding? Sinister's doing this for 1,000 years?
Yeah, well, I think the council was actually like, you know what? I don't even think we're gonna make it to 100 years. But I guess they do.
I guess they do. Spoiler.
alert.
I mean, that's just plain old rude.
Yeah, he just seems very annoyed with himself. Just like,
I
what
would
have I
be
done?
too. Like, there's no reason to have a whole bunch of Jennas. Why did he think there was a whole reason to have a whole bunch of Sinisters? Why? He's like, oh, I'm going to make myself, but with these powers. Oh, I'm going to make myself, but with these powers. And I'm just like...
And I'm going to be annoyed by all of them.
I can't even imagine. Imagine if there was just like a group of you, but looking all different.
Yeah, because like the same thing with the Gambit, with all the Nightcrawlers.
Yeah,
it's the same.
Oh.
So there, I'm pretty certain that I saw a Logan Cyclops. There was a Groot Cyclops. Yeah.
What?
A bunch of different Cyclopses.
Oh my gosh! I guess that's one way to like mix it all together. I can't even like fathom it.
I was all kind of confused at first because I was like, is this a flashback or something? Because Xavier was standing. I was like, wait,
Hold on.
Am I wrong?
Hold on.
Is this a Mandela effect? Like he's in a wheelchair, right?
Yes. It's bright yellow. So he's just standing, walking around?
Yeah, hanging out with M.O.R.A.R.T.Y. Yeah. But it's a clone one. So
Does anybody remember what Sinister did with the original X-Men? Because remember in the last one I read about Nightcrawler, he was like in a cliff note that he made to himself. He was like, note to self, make sure I did actually kill Nightcrawler.
yeah.
So it makes me wonder, did he like experiment on all of them and just like kill them all? Or?
Yeah. I'm getting that sort of vibe a little bit.
Did he though? Or did he lock them up because he got bored and figured he'd get interested with them again? And that's what's going to happen in 1,000! Ah!
I mean, basically, yeah. He was like, I'm going to go to my mind pals for a bit.
Oh my gosh. Just like dips out. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good. All right.
Second thought, I hate this.
Okay, let's talk Dawn of DC, Superman #1. Ta-da! So I think what they're doing is you know how they did Rebirth? I think this is their new stuff, the Dawn of DC. Except for in this series, they're taking them all out before they're giving us new ones. So, and we all know how hard it is to take out Superman. So we open up, Lois Lane is now in the position where Perry used to be. She's now the head of, and it's a wraparound cover. It's really cool. So now she's the head, and she goes up because she sees Soups is up there with his headphones on because he just wants to hear himself, and because he has that super hearing, he can hear everything going on all the time around him.
Awful.
I know. So every once in a while, he puts on his Beats by Dre. Not really, but like noise canceling headphones, just so he can hear himself every so often. And Lex is in jail. He's in jail. He's a bad boy. He went to jail. No, he's a bad boy. So he went to jail. Yeah, something like that, right? Anywho, so Lex is in jail, prison, like in a cell, nothing nice. Even the person who's serving him food is like, stop talking to yourself. You ain't special. You're getting sent to Arkham. Shut up. And you're just like, oh, Lex is getting a little tasty taste of his own medicine. Okay, Lex, there you go. And he's like, well, fine. She's like, you're not special. Shut up. And I'm like, okay, dude, he gets it. Like, even that's too much. And so he goes back and eats his food, and he's just like watching the news, and it's like Superman saving the day again, because that's what Superman do. And then like he's back at the planet. Oh my god, I almost call it the Planet Express.
Oh.
But he's not. He's back at the Daily Planet.
It did not even register that was incorrect at first.
Planet Express is from Futurama.
Yeah. Same universe.
Man, we're having... Actually, it is.
Oh. Well, then.
Futurama is in the DC universe.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like I've lost my train of thought.
Daily Planet.
What about it? Guys, it has been a crazy day today. Like, absolutely insane day to day. I can't even describe to you the absolute chaos that has been going on here. But it's good chaos, I think. Superman saves the day, goes back to the Daily Planet. To the Daily Planet. That's where he goes. Puts his headphones on. Lois comes out. They go to start making out. Jimmy runs out, and they're like, "Nope, wasn't making out. Nope." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, look at that!" And you look over, and LesCourt is doing something spinny, weird stuff. Like the whole thing's blue and red, spinning around like really, really fast. Like I thought it was the Flash at first, to be honest. And then he flies up there, and then all of a sudden it's the giant Superman symbol. And instead of it saying like the L for Lex, it says the Superman symbol. And then who was it? Wait, who was it? It was Mercy. Mercy Graves walks up, and she's like, "So Lex left you everything. Everything. Everything." And so they turned it into Supercorps, which is now full of all scientists and like not metas, but just, oh my gosh, to help Superman, because apparently Superman needs help so he can be his best version of himself. Like they made this little skit cartoon to do that. And he's like, "Oh, look, Superman's all like, I know when to ask for help, but I don't need this kind of help." And they're just like, "Well, I mean, what happens if Meteor come crash into Earth and you have to go stop Meteor? What happens if like Godzilla be coming at us?" And he's like, "Well, that's why I have super friends." And they're like, "Well, we have tech and we could trap it for when you get back." And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, why would you trap a monster for him to fight when he gets back? If you could just trap it and move it away.
Just take it.
Just take it. Like,
there.
don't let him have some spicy time with Lois. Let him. Anywho. So one of the things that was kind of like crossing the line, even in like my book, and I'm surprised that Soups over here didn't like lose his shenanigans over it, was in there. Lex had done some history about Kal-El and Jor-El. He had found out that how Superman trained was with a hologram of his father Jor-El. So Lex made himself into a hologram, dressed up like a Krypton to be his, guide.
Okay.
And you could see Superman just like, "Why are you wearing my dead people's clothes, Lex? Chill." And he's like, "You know what? I gotta have a conversation. I gotta have a conversation with Lex. I gotta go." And Mercy's like, "Okay, see ya." And then she calls Lex like, "He's on the way." And Lex is like, "Oh, he's not gonna make it here." Yeah, Soups didn't make it there. I can't say anything else without it being a spoiler. So that was quite epic, by the way, because this time LexCorp was not what made the big bad, not even by accident. So we're going to see what Supercorp is actually all about in the next episode.
I assume
DC
being super. And since that was a DC, I will do a DC as well.
Playing Follow the Leader.
Yes. Okay, Clayface. Batman One Bad Day. I enjoyed this. I haven't read any of the One Bad Days yet.
They've been so good.
Yeah, this is... I love the art in it and the way that they just did Clayface. Because when he's changing and stuff, it looks painful. Which I imagine that it probably would be.
I mean, it's made of clay. Would it really?
I feel like changing shape in any amount would hurt.
Okay.
I just feel like it looks uncomfortable.
Bone popping and cracking.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hate it. But yeah, so, and I love that when he's Clayface, like he's not, I guess, disguised as anyone else. The swirliness of his text bubbles they're different.
Oh, okay.
And I like that. I like
cool.
little details like that. But basically, he's an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, he wants his big break. They're filming The Killing Joke,
Yeah.
But he becomes obsessed with his vision because he's like, people just don't get it. they just don't get it. And it's like, dude, you're the actor. You need to calm down. Also, you didn't get the part originally. So he didn't get the part because he was playing it too serious. And his friend, because he's also working at like some sort of restaurant type thing. He's in LA. So, you know.
Did you get tacos from LA?
No.
Oh, okay. Darn it, Clayface. You can get no tacos from LA.
But, yeah, so he kills the guy that did get the part and assumes his identity.
Well, then.
And then, like, he acts as he would, which isn't what they wanted.
No.
So they're very angry.
I would be.
And he just goes on kind of a murder spree.
Just a little one?
A little one.
Just a little baby murder spree?
Yeah. Just a tiny, tiny little one.
One only Clayface could do.
Yeah. But I really liked the death scenes were kind of cool. I don't know, just overall, I really, really, really love the art. It's awesome.
That is cool. All the One Bad Day ones have been good. Because I know they've done Riddler, Penguin, and Joker, and Bane, I think.
Did I? No, I read a different Riddler thing. Like, did I read One Bad Day? No.
But they've all been, like, the best DC has put out in a long time. They've been so good. Okay.
Highly recommend.
Let's talk about Moriarty. So, I feel really bad. So, I ran out of time reading this one. I'm sorry. Every page is stuffed full with, is it called exposition? Is that the word?
Maybe.
Lots and lots of thinking about the things that are going on right now, of what's going on. So we see, where are you? There we go. So Sherlock and Watson are at poker and they're doing something. And then Sherlock, in his craziness, pulls out 2 ace of clubs and he's like, 2 king of clubs. And he's like, I got 2 kings. And then the dude they're playing against, like, his head explodes because he's an automaton. Is that what they called it? Yes, an automaton. He was a robot, is what it was. And then the nurse that was, kind of like talking for him just starts running, and Watson shoots her, and then they get over there and like, gasp, it's a man. And Sherlock's like, yeah, you couldn't tell? Like, you're a doctor. How could you not tell? And I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh.
So did they think that they were robots or that word?
Just say robots, because automaton. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of words. So yeah, they just start questioning her, and then all of a sudden somebody gets brought into the same hospital. Well, they start questioning them, and then this dude that's huge monster of a dude gets brought into the hospital, and he's under surgery because he got 7 times shot. 7 times. 7 times. They pulled out 7 bullets from his chest. And they were like, oh my gosh, he's bigger than an alligator. What? Do they have alligators in Britain?
Do they?
Somebody please look this up and tell us, do they have alligators in Britain?
I mean,
it's a genuine question. I genuinely don't know.
In a zoo, surely.
Surely. But in the 1800s?
Oh, well, I don't know time of alligators.
They're like, surely this dude is quite much bigger than an alligator, and if you compare this dude to him, that dude would quite frankly look like a gazelle. And I was like, oh my gosh, why? What is the shenanigans? I mean, okay. And they're like, how is he not dead? And then somebody whispers, I wish he would die so we could go home. And guess what big dude does? He wakes up and he shrinks down to his littleness and sneaks away. And yeah, so there are no species of crocodiles or alligators living in the UK. The coastal geographic place they live is Egypt. Okay, so how did 1800s people know? Oh, he's quite bigger than an alligator.
I mean, they can travel.
They could travel. They did do lots of safari hunts and
alligators love safaris. They go everywhere.
Thank you, backwoods collectors. That is. But so apparently, random hospital dudes that dump bodies in beds knew about alligators as well. Yeah, it was. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. But yeah, so then they go and are looking for said big dude. And then we go into this giant monologue about, and I'm taking this as a summary of 4 pages of monologue, that what they're chasing is Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jekyll. No, it's the other way.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, and they left off with a big cliffhanger. So we're gonna have to see what happens next. Yeah, Titan's really good at that because they've done all the other Sherlock books, like the updated Sherlock books and the old school. So this is kind of different where they're taking it where there's automatons.
That sounds fun.
It is. It is.
Automatons and alligators.
Oh my.
And mystery.
Oh my. Okay. What is next?
To the Punisher.
Okay.
Okay. Punisher War Journal base. Okay. So I'm gonna just immediately say there's a dog in this. I got excited for dog.
Pepper.
Because I love dogs. I don't know why I went into this book and then there was a dog and I was like, oh cool, a dog. This is the best book ever. And then it's like, this is a Punisher book. It will not be good. As in, not the story, but like it's not going to be good for the dog, more than likely. Something bad's gonna happen. But, okay. However, that's not how the story opens. I guess the dog is not the main focus.
No, I'm focused on the dog now.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was the main focus.
Okay, continue. But tell me about Punisher.
Okay, so it opens up where he's in therapy with his wife.
His wife is alive?
Yeah, so far. Right now. But, they're having marital issues because, he's seen war and he can't really... It's like...
Touch the PTSD.
Yeah, it's bad. But his therapist is like, hey, you need to, start journaling. So, you should be able to get your thoughts out and just, you don't have to, log onto them. Yeah. But he also doesn't want to, upset his wife or anything. So he's like, I gotta hold on to these thoughts.
Oh my gosh.
But also, he doesn't seem to feel, okay with living in society. He is changed from war. So he's just not comfortable with normal life anymore. He's more comfortable with the violence and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Which he stumbles upon it. Or maybe he's looking for it. He's always like, oh, I thought I heard something. It's not like, no, you didn't. You're good. Don't worry about it. But he actually did hear something. He's like, yeah, I hear something in that house. And it does not sound like nice, okay time. It is Halloween, so it's like, oh, you'd expect some screams and stuff. But he's like, this sounds bad.
Yeah.
So he goes and looks in the window. I guess he can see into their basement. It's like one of those little windows at the base of a house.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Make sure the tornado has passed.
Yeah. So he looks in there and he's like, yep, this is bad. It's a family of people that are being tortured.
Oh my gosh, that escalated very quickly.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, I'll take care of this. But he just falls into it naturally. Okay, time to punish.
That's what the Punisher be doing.
Yep. It seems... Yeah, aside from the dog bit, though. It was a good story, though.
It was a good story. Something had the dog, so now I have to beat somebody up. Got it.
Yes.
Don't choose violence, guys.
Just leave your dog at home.
Yeah.
Take the dog back home.
Take the dog home. Lay rude. All right, let's talk about Godfell. So this is a new book from... Vault.
Yes.
I can say it now. Yay! Backwoods may not know. So I have trouble with this word and any words that have A-U-L in them. I have trouble. But there we go. I super love this company. All of their books, even though I have trouble. It's so word. But Godfell was really good. All right, so we have this person. She is main person. Also, look at her horse/cow. Isn't that awesome? It's cool. It's cool because he can, for days. All right. So also in the background, I don't know if you can see, but in the background of the cover, that is a god, and it starts off with God fell. He did that god fell, and
is a god,
and he did.
Oh,
like
I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just seeing the circle, but there's actually like
there's a being in it.
Okay.
And the thing is so big, just the head took out a city. Like when it fell, the whole city was just demolished.
I mean, how big is the city? I mean, are we just being generous with the term city, or is it a city?
It was like a city, like ancient time city. So kind of like a town for us, but like ancient time city.
Okay.
It just wiped out. Just is gone. Like is gone. And of course, people are like, oh look, God's dead. Let's start a war. There's a cow.
That's a cow horse.
Cow wars. Oh yeah, I like that. A cow wars. Cow wars. I like that. I want that as a shirt now. Just a picture of that. A how. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But so what happens when ancient times, mostly religious, different sects of religion, and all of them see God dead? War breaks out. So this person right here, what was her name? I wrote it down. Zanzi. Zanzi is a soldier / berserker, where she holds on to this rage. And she just like, when she goes to kill. There be no survives when she goes to war. So it's now been, oh gosh, I think they said it's been like at least a year. And she has served her time. It's ready to go home. Like she's ready to go. She's sitting around with all of these dudes and they're having a couple of drinks. And then somebody just happens to mention that, there's something in God that she needs to get, or like something may or may not have or happen, or may have happened to her children. So what happens when you tell a berserker soldier that her children may not be alive because of a dead god? What does she do?
What does she do?
She got on her horse. She got on her little friend here and just started riding like crazy. She rode for days on end. And then she finally stops to take a break. Hey, Kenneth. Berserker's killing the nude. She had armor because it was a war. And so she just starts riding. She finally stops to take a break after like 3 days of straight riding. She finally stops to eat and take a break. And what happens? But of course, dudes show up to try and beat her up and take her money or anything that she had. And she's just like, really? Really? Do you not see my armor? And this giant, look at this giant axe that she has. She carries that with her everywhere. And I'm like, do you not see that? Like, come on, guys. Let's do some critical thinking or even some common sense thinking and be like, she's sleeping with an eye open. Maybe. I'm all mad at like the pop. How did you like the pop? I have it right here. We haven't opened it yet. So there's Ed Weird. He's over on YouTube. Yay. Hi. All right. As soon as I finish talking about this, we're going to open it and try it. So yeah, she is like, oh, come on, guys. Let's use some like common sense here. She has one eye open. She's sleeping, sitting up, holding her bloody well axe hammer. Like, maybe this not be the one we try and kill and take her stuff.
Probably not a good idea.
Maybe. And earlier she had also helped, like, she called her young one. She had helped her kind of like out of not being a slave. So by accident, she just wanted them to get out of her way so she could keep riding. And so I guess this little one followed her, and the dudes just start like falling because she was hitting them with rocks, and that gave her enough time to just, take them out. It's crazy. Yeah. That was crazy. It was good, though. It was really, really good. If it hadn't been for one other book, that would have been my pick of the week. Okay. Your turn. Actually, no, we're going to try the drinks. All right, Jay, get your drink. Jay got one too, because I bought a pack. Does her weapon have a name? It did not have a name. If it did, she didn't mention it. She didn't do a whole lot of talking. She was just kind of like, oh, I need to go. All right, so for anybody who hasn't known, so Ed over here, Eddie, he's Von B, who's over on YouTube right now. He has been talking about this drink, and he's been asking us to try it for, gosh, like,
It feels like a while now.
it's been a while. So they finally came in. We finally got them. We're finally going to try them. Oh, it smells like...
It smells familiar.
Yeah, it smells like
Big
a...
Red.
Yeah, it smells like Big Red. Okay, here we go.
That's Big Red.
That's Big Red.
This is Big Red.
Edward, were you tricking us?
Which is, I mean, it's good. I like Big Red.
It's
But
kind of
this
like a
is
creamy
Big Red.
Big Red,
I guess.
right? Do you get
It's
that?
It's Big Red.
Yeah, that's Big Red. Dang. I could have spent a
It's
lot
Big Red.
less money getting Big Red. But that's okay. At least, you know, we got to try something. And these were ice cold too. We had them in the fridge. Waiting for you. And there they are. He gave us Big Red.
It is Big Red.
Fago versions of Big Red. Nope, not tricking you at all. It's awesome in punch. Sorry if you don't like it. We didn't say we didn't like it.
I like it. It's just, it is Big Red.
It's Big Red. That big red fresh taste just lasts right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on while you chew it. So say goodbye a little longer. Make it last a little longer with Big Red.
Oh, I meant the soda.
Yeah. But every time I hear Big Red, I always think, does anybody else remember that commercial from back in the day? It was okay. It was.
To be fair, I don't remember yesterday.
It has been a weird day. Wrong. Big Red, but sure.
Wrong Big Red.
Oh, wrong. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jay, did you taste yours? Tell us how you thought, and you tell us your book.
Okay.
Okay.
Local man. He's a man, and he's local. I really enjoyed this book. Okay, so it starts off with this guy. He's at a bus stop, and you know, someone drives by and he's like, "Hey, the bus hasn't come for like it's probably not gonna come."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh well, I mean, if it doesn't come often, like when's the last time one came about? Oh, like 1998."
Oh wow! So
He's
like a
like-
while.
Yeah, so he's like, "Okay, well, you know what? I'll just see about giving you a ride or whatever." But then he recognizes him. The
Yeah.
driver does recognize the local guy, and immediately is kind of just like, "Oh, you're Crossjack? No,
No.
like,
Oh my gosh.
you know, absolutely not. Get out of here." And then he's about to drive off, but then he's like, "Oh, hey, are you Jack? Last name?" He's like, "Yeah. I'll just cancel the Uber. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I'll get another one." And he's like, "Oh, there isn't another one. It's just me. Bye."
Oh my gosh.
So, he finally makes it to his parents' house, and they're also disappointed in him. They're mad
What did he
because
do?
that is not made clear in this. It's clear that he did something
Oh my gosh.
very bad. But yeah, so even in like his parents like did a prayer before dinner, and like even in the prayer they're just like, "And please like give us the strength to deal with the shame that our son has brought onto this family."
Oh my gosh.
So it seems like he is an ex-superhero, and he did something bad. Like,
Oh.
nobody's happy with it. And he ends up getting into a fight at the local bar, and then like a superhero committee comes and like serves him.
It's
like-
he was one of these superheroes.
Yeah. But they come and serve him
Mm-hmm.
and are like, "Hey, you violated you know, the superhero stuff. You're not allowed to use a shield." And he's like, "It was a trash can lid." He's like,
oh my gosh.
"Or anything shield like. You can't do anything superhero related. Absolutely not.
Like, you're done.
And you can't even use your old name. Can't do this. Illegal." But yeah, so it's not made clear of what he did, but you might make some assumptions. Oh, and this one has a dog too, but it's okay.
Okay. So it was like, oh,
Like, he goes to his parents' house and is like, "Pepper? Like, weren't you 14 when I left?
Oh my
How
gosh.
old is this dog?
This dog's gonna live forever.
Yeah, it's kind of like Top Pop from Always Sunny.
It's just gonna live forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that one. I would highly, highly recommend this. It feels fun. Oh, and it's Image.
Yeah, Image is really good.
That's why it's so good.
Okay, let's talk about my dark horse book. This is Blue Book. Blue Book #1. So it's in black, white, and blue. So how it looks on the cover is how it looks on the inside.
I really want to read this one.
It was so good. Okay, I wrote a lot of notes of it. All right, so like I said, it's in black, white, and blue. It's set in 1961. Okay, let me set this up. So this one got me heated, okay? I was yelling about it in the warehouse. Do you remember? Like, I was just like, why? Okay, so this couple went up to Canada and we're like, oh, what a lovely vacation. Oh, we need to get back home because our budget's stretched and there's a hurricane coming, so we can't stay here anymore because we got no more money, so we got to get home. So they're just like driving through the night and they stop by this cafe and like, okay, we should get home about 3 a.m. Let's get back on the road. So they get back on the road and, his wife looks at the sky and she's like, oh, honey, look, there's like a satellite or something by the moon. Can you pull over so I can see with my binoculars? And he's like, okay, but it's got to be quick. So they pull over, they put the dog. This one has a dog. So they put the dog on a leash and she stands outside with her binoculars and she's like, it's moving in circles. I didn't know satellites could do that. And he's like, okay, we can't waste more time. We got to go. We got to get home. There's a hurricane coming. We got to go now. And so they do. They get back on the road. And then she's like, looks up. She's like, oh, look at those weird patterns it's making. Can you pull over again? I want to look at it closer. And he's like, no, we don't have time for this. She was like, well, okay, fine. I'll just look at it from my car with my binoculars. And, they keep driving. And she's like, honey, it's following us. And he's like, it's not following us. And she's like, pull over. It's following us. So what does he do?
Pulled over.
He pulls over. Oh, my God.
It's the most logical step.
They pull over. She's looking at it through the binoculars. He gets a little nervous because it is kind of like doing circles, kind of like around their area. So he gets his gun and he gets back in the car and he's like, okay, we can't stop anymore if we want to get home before the hurricane. So they start driving again. And then it's like right behind them, like following them. So what's the logical step to do?
Pull over.
Pull over!
Yeah.
Don't pull over!
No, of course, pull over. You can meet an alien. How cool is that?
And then the next step that he does is gets out of the car to walk in front of the car because it's hovering in front of them like a little bit away. And he just stands there staring at it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Jay, it was a real summertime treat here growing up. They used to only have it in summer for summer vacation. Huh. I feel bad. I get the creaminess. I just am not getting the berryness.
I think Big Red is actually bubblegum flavor.
Oh. Anyways,
yeah.
So it also has a second story in it, set in 1889, where maybe same thing, maybe not same thing, like
or with like a horse and carriage.
Yeah, no, on the beach.
Oh. Do they pull over? Was that the issue?
If something is following you like that, don't get out of the car. Okay, first and foremost, don't pull over. Second off, don't get out of the car. Just drive.
But you could meet an alien.
Oh my gosh.
How cool is that? Just hanging out with the Greys. Come on, man. Be awesome. Or it could be like the Flintstone one.
It was interesting though. I can't wait for the second one. Like I want to see what happens next. Based off of the last couple of pages of the first story and how the second story ended, I was like, oh, these are not your average aliens.
Are they nicer?
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Not your average everyday alien.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I couldn't tell who's watching whom.
Wouldn't it be weird if like the aliens were just like, man, those guys are following us? How weird is that?
Well, one of the aliens was holding binoculars also.
That's
so I
funny.
was just kind of like,
that's pretty funny.
What? Okay, get back in your car.
Sneak a read.
Yes, it was so good. And then, oh shoot. Are you out of books?
I am out of books.
Oh, okay. I think we both I read this one and you skimmed it, right?
It, yeah.
So this is an advanced reader copy that we got in from Mad Cave. It's called Exorcists Never Die. Whew, that's a lot of words. Kind of like, let's hide behind the chainsaw in the shed. Right, Backwoods?
Yeah.
Right?
It's the most logical place.
Oh, I'm pulling over.
Behind a chainsaw.
Going to the back window and be like, what is your problem?
You're under citizen's arrest, alien.
Okay, so that is Exorcists Never Die. It's not out yet. We got the advanced reader copy. That was actually my pick of the week. But for books that came out this week, I picked Blue Book. It was so good. But Exorcists Never Die. Oh my gosh, this was so good. So you see these two right here, they're exorcists. Yeah, and they can channel angels. And guess what? They're biblically accurate angels. So just like giant bird, eyeballs everywhere, just like, like, oh, that's creepy. So they go into this insurance claims office, pull off their robes to show their armor, and just start exorcising everybody around them. Because apparently, at an insurance claims office, they're all possessed by demons.
At least that one.
At least in that one, specifically the one that they did. And they're just like, okay, are you ready for the big battle? And they're just like, yeah, big battle, let's go. And they start going downstairs, and what do they find? A freaking 100-foot tall sloth who like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I can, I'm not going to open it and show them. But it's on the back of the book. So there's sloth. He's huge. And also he's sick and tired of all of these, oh, you know, it's heaven and hell, and only one side plays by the rules, and we possess people. And you guys are just trying to, like, he's monologuing while they're frozen in space and time. And just
be the absolute worst.
Oh my gosh. It's like one of those songs like, you sly dogs, you caught me monologuing, but haha, you can't do anything because I froze you. You got to skim it. What did you think of it?
I like the art.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to, like, properly enjoy the story.
It's so good.
It seems like it's something that's right up my alley. I do love biblically accurate angels. And the art looks really cool. I dig it.
Yeah. So this one, it's not out yet. So what you can do is you can call up your LCSs and ask to have it put on your pull boxes. That way when it does come out, you'll have first dibs. It was really good. That's what I like about these advanced copies that we get to do. Oh, it's Mad Cave. It's from Mad Cave Studios. Ta-da! And the art was very similar to what's here on the cover. And on the back was exactly a picture from inside. So, yeah, I really liked it. Coming up next. Oh my goodness, I completely blanked out. Who's on after us?
I feel like this happens everywhere.
It does happen. Oh my goodness.
We got Mint Hunter Comics. And then after that, to close out the night, is Country Roads Comics.
Country Roads. Nope, not doing that.
Yeah,
So make sure to stick around to see those two shows. And also, we will actually be jumping over to our Facebook channel on the CDSN to our new book shows, everything. So yeah, lots of shows, lots of greatness. Make sure to hit that subscribe button over on our YouTube. So that way you can, you know, hopefully win the CGCs. And also get to see all of our awesome shows because we have lots of really awesome shows. I think the next time we see you is Thursday at 5 p.m. Central for What's in the Box and also Space Cadets. What did we talk about this week?
Girl Scout cookies for an abnormal amount of time.
Was that?
That was the first half, I'm pretty certain.
This week is going to be the mostly King of the Hill talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like the ones we record are always like a week or two behind.
Yeah.
So where we talk, well, Alfie talks about King of the Hill.
Because I love King of the Hill.
Yeah, it was your takeover episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it's like officially coming back.
Yeah.
And I am pumped for it.
All right, guys. So, see you guys after a while. Thanks for joining us. Bye.